Hello everyone, my name is Amaziro Doppada. Firstly, I thank you all for watching this video, and at the same time I am requesting you all to continue this video till the end. To the point, here I am going to make a series of videos that are related to education. In this quest, I commence this journey with the topic called Basics of Education that I am going to present in PPT so that it will be easy for understanding. The topic is Basics of Education, BOE. In this, firstly, what is a knowledge? Everything that you perceive at any degree in any manner is called a knowledge. It means from the wee hours of the day to the time we go to bed, we learn many things from the surroundings, so-called nature. Everything can be said as a knowledge. In the taxonomy, knowledge can be classified as two types. One is subjective, another one is objective. In the subjective and objective knowledge, the arguments are one and same. They are immediate experience, meaning, judgment, and inference. But the difference is objective knowledge is comparatively or relatively easy to understand than subjective arguments. Let us say an example. When you see an object, immediately you will experience something out of seeing that object, and some meaning you will understand, and some judgment you will come, and finally you will conclude something about that particular object. This is what we generally called as a knowledge. Relative to absolute scale. In the relative, all the appearances are vague. Relative means low perfection. It means when you are understanding something relatively, that appearances are not clear. It means you are not fully perfect in the understanding of that particular object or subject. In the absolute, no appearances can be lost. It means you understand all the 360 degrees ways of that object. So automatically you will have a high perfection in the absolute scale of a particular object or subject. Error to truth. Straight away, there is a statement given by Bradley in the Philosophical Sciences. There is no truth which is entirely true, and there is no error which is entirely false. It means when you say something it is true, it is composition of little error maybe, and when you say something there is an error, in that error also there is some true will be there. Let us say we take an example, assessment of a lad on a mathematical problem to understand what is error to truth. Assessment of a lad. Let us say a problem has given to a student and student answered that. In that I am going to take 4 cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. In the 4 cases, I am going to understand 2 parameters, that is called procedure the student has followed and the answer the student has produced. In the case 1, the procedure followed by the student is right, but he landed with wrong answer. In the case 2, the procedure has been followed by the student is wrong, but he landed with right answer. In the third case, the procedure has been followed by the student is wrong, and the answer is landed with also wrong. In the fourth case, the procedure has been followed by the student is right, and the answer has been produced by the student is right. Out of these 4 cases, when we measure error and truth or right and wrong, generally we think that case 3 is absolutely wrong. It means the student will get 0 marks in this case 3. And in the fourth case, procedure is right and answer is right. We generally think that the student will get 100 out of 100 marks. And in any way, in case 1 and case 2, relatively, the student will get some number of marks. Let us say some M1 marks and M2 number of marks. But now, case 3 and case 4 are important to understand this error to truth. It means even though the procedure has been followed by the student is wrong and answer he is landed with wrong, but there may be a right statements that are related to question may exist in the case 3. In that case, student will be given some number of marks, let us say X marks, but not 0. In the fourth case, even though the procedure and answer given by the student is right, the statements in between the problem may be wrong. In that case, the student may get little less than 100 marks. It means maybe 95 or 96 like that. So this is the example to understand error to truth scale. And of course, there is another man, Blanchard. He has given a test called coherency test for the determining the degree of truth and error. So what is education? Manifestation of the perfection already in man is called as education. This is the statement given by Swami Vivekananda, and this definition is most generalized and mostly acceptable. But in the present scenario, the education is different. So now I can say education is a tool to achieve highest truth in the degree of truth scale in particular field or concept of study. So to understand the education, there are many approaches are there. So how to use this tool? By following the best approach. So what is the best approach? The best approach is called as a generalized approach. What is a generalized approach? It is most acceptable, vivid, compact, simply complex, and pressure-free in the study of all sciences. It means it should be acceptable and it should be clear. Even though it occupies a very big space, you should be able to produce in a small manner, that is called compact. It may be looking complex, but you have to produce in simple way, and pressure free. This is important because you should not feel difficulty to understand a particular concept. This is what a generalized approach is. To understand this generalized approach, let us take an example called binomial distribution formula. Once the student was asked what is a plus b whole square, then the student said the answer a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? The teacher said, and he was asked again what is a plus b whole cube. Then the student said a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. The teacher said it's right. And the teacher asked, what is a plus b whole to the power of 5? Suddenly he stuck up with this question. Then the student was thinking to answer that. And finally he got an idea that is called, he can write like a plus b whole square into a plus b whole cube. Then he multiplied the both and he will produce some answer. That's good, the teacher said. Then the teacher asked, what is a plus b whole to the power 10? Then the problem comes like, the student was thinking, but he could not obtain a right answer. because a plus b whole square, a plus b whole cube, or 5 or 10 is not a generalized formula for binomial distribution. If you take a plus b whole to the power n, there is a formula nc0 a power n minus 0 b power 0, nc1 a power n minus 1 b power 1, plus nc2 a power n minus 2 b power 2, and so on. ncn a power n minus n b power n. It means if you understand the most generalized formula a plus b whole to the power n, you can put any value in the place of n. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and so on, any value, so that you obtain a right expression. This is what we generally called as a generalized approach. This is important to understand any concept or subject in the education. And higher education means not a bigger, but a deeper in the understanding of a particular concept. Why? Because generally when we do higher and higher in the education, so we think that we are dealing with big bang theories like. But generally, when you are going higher and higher in the education, means you are going deeper and deeper, and you are searching for smaller things. So finally, if you have any questions, please you can post under this video, and if you have any suggestions, that also you can post. We will happily accept them, and we will enhance our making, and we will give the right videos in the future. Thank you all for watching this video.